Hi, good morning. In today's session, we're going to see about dynamic data masking. In your data, if you see any PII informations, personal identifiable informations like mail ID, contact number, okay, and then first name, last name, these are the PA informations, okay. Apart from that, there are so much of PA data will be there as per the organization. You have to mask those data while sharing the data to some other downstream systems. Before sharing to the downstream systems, you have to mask those data. But in Snowflake, we're going to implement dynamic data masking. It's one of the security feature that allows organization to mask the sensitive data in their database, tables, views, and query results in real time. Okay, any organization that can mask the sensitive data on the database tables, views, and query results in real time. This is one of the important feature for protecting the sensitive information from unauthorized user or unauthorized access, or we can say it's exposure. Okay, we can protect those sensitive informations. Now, the one more important beauty in this dynamic data masking is, okay, it's not going to permanently alter the database. Permanently alter the database in the sense, it's not going to change the column value by putting asterisks. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a policy, masking policy. That masking policy will be assigned to the one of the role. Whichever user having that role, whenever they logged in, right, they can able to see only the data which is masked. Okay, only the admin users can able to see all those data. Apart from the admin users, like the remaining users can able to see only the mask data. This is how you can able to protect the sensitive information. Okay, what I'm saying is, Snowflake dynamic data masking allows the data to be masked as it is accessed. While access only, they can able to see that data is masked. That is understood, right? While accessing means the user is logged in and then he is querying the table. Then instantly it's getting masked. Okay, but permanently it's not altered in the database. I'm saying the words again. It's not permanently altered. Whenever the user logged into that with the corresponding role, at the fly, the data is getting masked, but it's not permanently altered in the database. Okay. Now, if someone has the privilege, who is having the access for the masking data, they can able to see all those PA informations. Okay, whichever column is masked, right? They can able to see all the data. Unauthorized users, okay, or exposures, they can't able to see the PA information data. For them, the column will be masked. Okay, now masking is nothing but replacing the sensitive information with some dummy values. It's some dummy values in the sense asterisks you have to put. Asterisks you have to put, and then any unauthorized users can't able to see those data. Or you can partially reveal the data. Partially revealing the data in the sense, for example, take mail ID. In mail ID, you will provide a domain name @ outlook.com. But before the @ you will mask those informations. Right? For example, Satish @ outlook.com. Finally, after masking, right, you'll give asterisk @ outlook.com. Like this, partially you can reveal the data. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a few things about dynamic data masking. It's one of the column level security feature, and each column you can define this dynamic data masking feature, and then you can select those columns. That particular column, what will happen, right? It will be masked. It will be a plain text data table, and then while viewing, right, while viewing the data, at that time they can able to see the masked one data. Okay, but it's not permanently, Satish, it's not permanently altered in the database. Database table in the sense, it's not permanently persisting in the database table. Okay, while viewing only, and the fly it's getting changed, and then you can able to see the mask data. Now, if you talk about in Snowflake, masking policies are applied only to the schema level objects. Schema level objects mean the sense we have the database, under that you have one schema, under the schema we have tables, under the tables we have the columns, right? You can able to apply on the column level. The Snowflake supports dynamic data masking in both tables and views. In both tables and views. Views also you can apply masking. Dynamic data masking apply. Tables also you can apply. Dynamic data masking. Okay. Only at query runtime only, what will happen, right? The masking policy is applied to a column. Sendamal, while querying the table, what happened? Whatever the masking policies you have created, it will apply to a particular column. It apply to a
particular column.
Okay, when will happen? While querying a table, the masking policy is going to apply to a column. Okay, at every location where a column appears. This is how the dynamic masking will work. Okay, first you have to create a policy. The policy you have to assign to a custom role. That custom role should be assigned to a user. Okay, that custom role should have the privileges of warehouses, databases, and tables. Then only that particular role can able to query those data, and then they can able to see those PA information. Whichever unauthorized user using those database tables, they can see only the mask values. Now, I'm going to show these are the nothing but your dynamic data masking. If anyone talk about dynamic data masking, you have to say it's a column level security. Column level, you can apply this security feature. There's nothing but your dynamic data masking. Now we're going to see some benefits. What is the dynamic data masking benefits? One is it's very easy to use. Ease of use means very easy to use. You can write a policy. You write only one policy. Apply to thousands of columns across the different schemas. Okay, it's very easy. Satish, we're going to write how many policies?
Sir, one policy.
One policy, but you're going to apply thousands of columns.
Columns, sir.
Across database and schemas. Okay, they're saying simple thousands. You can apply 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 columns also you can apply. But how many policies are writing? Only one policy. If this feature is not available, what you have to do, you have to select the column, and then you have to write some user defined functions, and then you have to mask those columns. But here you can achieve the help of masking policy. Second one is data administration. Okay, the security or privacy officer, okay, like a data administrator, they will decide which column to protect. Okay, because some data we have the PA informations, they will decide, the privacy officer, they will decide which column they have to protect. Okay, and then they will create a masking policies. It's very easy to manage and support centralized and decentralized administration models. Okay, what they have to do, right? They first they select all the columns, and then they put in the policies. Okay, what will happen, right? As per the policy, what are the columns they are defined, right? The entire column will get masked. It's very easy to manage and support the centralized and decentralized administration models. Third one is data authorization and governance. Okay, some governance team will be there. Governance team in the sense that they will think about the data quality. The data should be very accurate. Okay, the governance team will be there. They only know the rules, like how the data should be, and then how the data quality we can improve in the raw data. Everything governance team will decide on that. Governance team will provide the rules for us to improve our data quality. Now, what we can do is data governance was implemented by privacy officers or security officers. And then the security officers, what they will do, right? They will prohibit the privileged users with the account admin, security admin. If you are logged into the account admin or security admin, they can, what they can do, right? They can see all the data. They can see all the data. Only the account admin, security admin. If you are logged into any custom roles, those who have privileges, they can only able to see those data. Otherwise, they will see only the masked data. And then last one is data sharing. It's very easy for us. Before sharing, right, we can mask the data using masking policy. And then change management. Okay, you can change the masking policy content without having to reapply the masking policy 1,000 of columns. For example, now I apply for 1,000 columns. Tomorrow I have to apply for 2,000 columns. Suddenly masking policy, right? What you can do, easily change the masking policy content without having to reapply the masking policy 1,000 of columns. What they're saying is, once you define the policy, suddenly will change to all the columns. Okay, no need to change the entire columns as well. Just go and change the policy, everything will be changed in the column level. It's one of the column level security feature. Sujita Priya, in one liner, what we can say in dynamic data masking is your column level security feature. Okay, whichever column is required, you can apply the masking policies, but you have to create your own policy called masking policy. With the help of masking policy, you can define the roles as well as you can define the columns as well. Now, straight away going for the demo session. Now, what we're going to do is, before that, I want to show one more link to you. See, guys, what I did is, from this documentation, I took the syntax. Okay, how to create a masking policy. Okay, what's the return statement? You can see, right? Create or replace masking policy. If not exists, give the name and then give yes. And then you can provide the argument for this masking policy, and return is going to be a Boolean or string. You can define it. Comment, you can define it. And then the remaining policy, what I am doing is giving the exception. Exception means the other policies will not be allowed if you give true. Okay. This is how we have syntax. I copied the syntax and then I made some modification. From this link, right, this official documentation, you can take the entire codes. Okay. You can see, right? These are the codes we can have. You can take this codes and then you can able to execute it. You can able to create a masking policy. You can able to alter the masking policy, drop the masking policy. You can show the masking policies and then you can describe the masking policies. These are the various column level security features we have. You can able to do it. Yesterday, we have seen how to use the
row access policy.
Row access policy. Today you're going to see column level security. Going to see it's very easy, guys. Same syntax. Okay. Now I'm going to show the demo session now. Before that, what I want to do is just go to a Snow site and then create one SQL worksheet. Yeah. Now what we can do is good. Everything is good as of now. I'll open my documentation. See, guys, I took from the documentation only. Now we're going to follow some steps to apply a Snowflake dynamic data masking on a column level, because it's a column level security feature. Now, before applying all these 5 steps, right, we have to do some few fine tuning. Not kind of fine tuning, I say. We have to create some custom roles. Okay. Before that, before creating custom roles, we have to switch to
System admin.
system administrator. Okay, because system administrator has the privilege of creating a database, schema, and then
Table.
Okay, what?
Warehouse.
Yeah, warehouse. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to this role. Use role system admin. Just copy this role and then just run it. Now it switched from account admin to system admin role. Okay, good. And then I'm going to create a database, create a replace database, analytics, and then I'm going to create a schema call. Database name dot schema name is HR schema. Okay, just copy and paste as it is. Guys, it's very easy because in the last 2 sessions we're seeing the same thing. Now the database got created and then now it's creating a schema. If you refresh, right, you can able to see analytics database and then you can see the schema called HR schema. You can able to see there is no objects found as of now. The one object I'm going to create is table. Just create a table, guys. The DDL is employees DDL, ID, first name, last name, email, hire date, and country. These are the sample records I have. Okay, using insert statement or table name, and then these are the columns I'm going to insert. Just copy as it is. Okay, just yeah, just create a DDL and then insert those 9 records. Okay. Now, see guys, I took some sample records. Okay, they will use some ETL tools, so kind of they'll use Matillion, they'll use Talent, or they will use Ab Initio, Pentaho, Informatica, Power Center. They will use any other tools to insert the different table. Okay, they use Informatica IACS. As of now, for demo session, I took only 8 records. Good. Now, I'm going to create a role. For creating a role, which system defined role you'll go for creating a roles?
Security admin.
Security admin. You have to go for security admin. What are the 3 roles I'm creating now? Anyone? Anand, Sujita, Priya. What are 3 roles I'm creating right now?
Data analyst, data engineer, data scientist.
Data scientist. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the with the help of security admin. I'm going to create 3 roles: data analyst, data engineer, and then data scientist. Now you can see, right, from system admin to it change to security admin. Now it's creating the roles for analyst, engineer, and then scientist. Now good, everything is good. Now after creating a role, I want to assign my role to
System admin.
System admin, because I'm granting, see, I'm giving the grant permission for the data analyst to the role system admin. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just copy and paste as it is. Yeah, now you can run it. Because system admin has the privileges to create a database, warehouse, system admin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, tables we can able to do. That's why I'm giving the data analyst to the role system admin and a system admin, right? This will have the privileges now. Data analyst, data engineer, data scientist. You can see now. You can see, right? Data analyst,
Yes, sir.
And the data engineer and data scientist. Okay, if you click on this, right? Yeah, but you can't be able to see any warehouse. You can't see any warehouse because I didn't give you any privilege for that creating a warehouses. Now good, everything is good. The next step I'm going to follow is using system admin. I'm granting the access for database. And then schema, and then select on means only read access. Select on all tables. Okay. Now what I'm doing is using system admin because I assigned run system admin, right? Now system admin can provide the access. Grant usage means I'm giving some permissions on database analytics to which role? Data analyst role. And then grant usage permission to schema. HR schema and give permission. And then select on all tables in schema. Analytics and HR database. Analytics is one of the database, another HR schema to role data analyst. Now, this schema, HR schema, right? I can able to read all the tables. Now, same permission applied for the different roles for data engineer as well as
Data scientist, sir.
Data scientist. Just copy as it is. Already we have discussed this thing, guys, in the last 2 sessions. Just copy and paste and then run it with the help of sysadmin. Now, I'm not able to see anything, right? Just what you have to do. You have to change the role like in the UI. Okay, just go for sysadmin. The sysadmin will have the sysadmin will have the computer underscore WH. Warehouse will have. Okay, just after starting this, just you can run this command. Now it's running 1 out of 10. Now it's 6 out of 10. Eight out of 10. Yeah. Now I'm granting this for database on this role. For schema for this role. For certain all tables for this role. Okay. Now 3 roles will have the access for the database, schema, and tables as well. Now, good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a role account admin. I'm granting usage for warehouse. To which role? Data analyst, data engineer, and data scientist. Now for this 3 things, right? I given a database, schema, and tables are given. But for running a query on any tables, you need warehouse. That's why I use account admin. Account admin will have all the privileges. Now I'm granting for granting for
Warehouse.
warehouse. Just copy these 3 statements as it is. Guys, it's a lengthy process, I know. Okay, but it's a repetitive process as well. As a developer, you should know these things.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now it's going like 3 out of 4. Now 4 out of 4. Successfully executed. Good. Now the next thing is I'm going to use the role of user admin. What the user admin can do? What's the role of user admin? Create users. We can able to create the users. That's the reason we're going for the user admin. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating user of Steve 3, Tony 3, and Bruce 3. The username is Steve 3. Password is SF@123. SF means success factor. Okay, that's why I kept like this. You can give any passwords. SF stands for success factor. Okay, now I given a command is called data analyst. For data analyst, the user is Steve 3. For data engineer, the user is 23. For data scientist, the user is
Bruce 3.
Bruce 3. Okay, they can't even change the passwords. Okay, the user can't able to change the password. That's why I used must change password equal to
False.
Boolean value. It's called false. Now just copy as it is. I'm expecting the answer from everybody. Okay, now with the help of user admin, just create a users. I'm creating 3 users right now. See, in the user admin, you can't able to see the database. It's only for creating the users. What are analytics DB created, right? Analytics DB. We can't able to see that DB here because we are logging into the user admin role. Now everything is good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign the role to which user? Data analyst to
23.
23. Data engineer to Steve 3. I think I want check check guys. Okay, Bruce 3. Everything is correct. Yeah, data scientist to Bruce 3. Now with the help of security admin, I can grant the role to the corresponding user. Just copy as it is. Now it's came like around 99 lines, right? Yeah. Now grant the role to the corresponding users. It's giving 3 out of 4. Yeah, 4 out of 4. It's successfully completed. Good. This is the preliminary steps you have to follow while doing data masking. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just I'm going to move ahead. Now we're going to follow this step 1 to step 5. The step 1 I mentioned is create a custom role with
Masking privileges.
privileges. Okay, the custom role should have a masking privileges. Now go to step number 1. The step number 1 is create a custom role with masking privileges. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one custom role called masking admin. Okay, it's a custom role actually. Now just create a role. I'll make it as step 1. Sujita Priya, are you with me? We have to create a custom role called masking admin. Now the role is created is called masking admin is created. The next step we have to follow is grant and giving the create permission to create a
Masking
Masking
policy.
policy.
and granting to create masking policy. Okay, masking policy and which schema? On schema. Now I have to change the schema name. I have to change. Okay, guys, we have to change the schema name. Don't give the same as it is. The schema database name is
Analytics.
analytics. Analytics. Check the spelling, guys. ANALYTICS. Okay, and then schema is going to be
HRD.
HR.
who said HRDB? It's a HR schema. And then you are creating a masking policy and schema, HR schema, to which role? To which role?
Masking admin.
Masking admin role. What are the custom role you created, right? That role you are assigning. Okay, now just run this permission to create a masking policy. Just run it. Okay, now good. We can able to create a masking policy because we're granting the access to create a masking policy and schema to the corresponding masking admin role. Good. Everything is good. Now, what I'm doing is I'm giving the grant permission to apply a masking policy on my current account. On my current account to which role?
Masking admin.
Masking admin role. Sendamal, you have to understand, I'm giving the apply permission on which account? My current Snowflake account. On the current Snowflake account, we have the roll call. Roll
Masking
call,
admin.
masking admin.
Masking.
Sendamal to the masking admin. Just you have to apply this statement as well. We have to apply the masking policy in account level to the corresponding role. Just create it. Now the step number 1. Now, what the problem is, guys, you should think about, okay, while applying masking policy account level to role masking admin, what privilege you have to keep? You should keep the account admin. That's the problem
Okay.
here. Okay. Now, what you can do, right? Just to copy these 3 statements with your account admin, you can do it. Okay. Because we're creating a replace role. Now it's 1 out of 3. I'm creating the masking policy schema and then applying masking policy on the account. Good. Now, most probably, step number 1 is completed. Now, step number 2, assign masking role to
Existing role.
existing role or user. Okay. Now, how many existing roles we have? Anyone? We have
Sir,
masking
3, sir.
role. Yeah.
Three,
Existing
sir.
roles we have 3. What are the 3 roles we have?
Sir, data analyst, data scientist,
Data
data
engineer.
engineer.
Data engineer.
Data
Okay. Your definition data engineer. Okay. Now, already a masking role. I'm going to assign one role with another role because this masking role is there, right? Having the sufficient privileges. Okay. Now, if you see the masking admin, okay, it's having sufficient privileges. Now, step number 2, assigning masking role to existing role or user can assign. Now, I'm granting the permission role masking admin to
data engineers.
data engineer, and then just I want to change grant role masking admin to data engineer, right? Steve 3. Like this, I want to create 2 more things. What I want to change? Anyone can help me? Data scientist analyst, right? Masking admin to data analyst. User is
23.
23. And then change for here as well. Here,
Data
role,
scientist.
data scientist. This is one of the toppest. Okay, data scientist. And then what is your name?
Bruce 3.
Bruce 3. Yeah, and then make it as Bruce 3. Now you understood, guys. Just what I'm doing is I already having the masking admin role. I am giving the entire privilege to this data engineer role. Okay, what are the privileges it has, right? I'm giving to this data engineer. Just copy. And then, guys, you can use security admin, account admin, both are same. Account admin will have the all privileges. Using security admin also, you can grant the role, one role with another role. Just run it. Now, step number 2, we are progressing. Okay, it's 2 out of 6. Three out of 6. 5 out of 6. And finally, it's going to be 6 out of 6. Now, I hope everything is good. Now, step number 3, I want to show you guys. Create a masking policy. I already said, right? Create one masking policy, assign to 1,000 columns. The same thing. The step number 3 are going to follow. Just create a masking policy. This is how you can get a masking policy. Create or replace the masking policy. You can give any name. Sujita Priya, instead of string mask, you can give your name as well. Create or replace masking policy. You can give any name, but as of now, I given string mask. And then I given an alias, and then the argument is going to be val. value. What's the value type?
String type.
String type.
String type. And then this masking policy is going to return here. Return here.
String type.
String. Okay. Now I got a case statement. When current role means whichever role you log in, right? If it's a data underscore engineer, it's going to give the value, entire value without masking. Without masking, it's going to give. In case if it is some other role, right? If it is data scientist or like data analyst, for them, what will happen? The data will be
It will
showed
be
as
masked.
masked. The data will be masked. Okay, and then I give the end statement. Good. This is how we have to do the step 3. Now what I'm going to do is just going to create a masking policy for which role?
Data
Data
engineer.
engineer.
Hey, I'm not getting masking for data engineer. Apart from data engineer, all the roles will be.
Masking.
You can see the else
Masking.
condition, right? You can see the else condition. In data engineer, it's going to give the entire value for you. If it is some other role, right? It's good. That is going to be masked. That is going to be masked. Now, I'm going to create a masking policy. Okay, just copy. Now create a masking policy. Now, if you log in data engineer, you can able to see all the data. Apart from if you log into some other role, right? Then you can see the columns will be masked. Till now, I didn't define the column. Okay. Till now, I didn't define the column. Okay. But if the role is data engineer, then I'll see all the data without masking. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going for step 4 now. Step 4 is apply the masking policy to your
Table.
or
view.
view. Okay,
View
masking can be applied only table or view. Now I go into step 4. The step 4 is already table is got created. Now I want to alter the table. Alter table, if exists, we have employees table. I'm going to modify a column. Column name is first name. And then set masking policy. Okay, setting the masking policy called string mask. The policy kept right. String mask. Now what I'm doing is for the first name column alone, I'm setting the masking policy. Okay, just run this statement. So now I hope it's clear, right? I'm altering the table and modifying the column. For this column, I'm applying the masking policy. Masking policy is string mask by using set command. Now just run it. Good. Now it's got changed. Now, step number 5. The step number 5 is verify the masking rules by querying data.
Querying data.
We have to query the data. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just I go into the role of use role data engineer. Use role data underscore engineer. It's a role actually. Now I am switching to this role. Okay, it got switched. You can see, right? Data engineer. We have the warehouse as well. Computer underscore WH. Now, what's the table name? Anyone? Sujita Priya. Table name. Select start from. Which table I have to query? Anyone?
Employee first.
Employees.
Employees.
Under the HR schema, we have the employees. Here, I am logging data engineer role. Whether we can see the first name column is masked or not masked.
Not masked first.
It's not masked actually. You can see all the data without masking. Guys, I made a mistake here. I didn't select this query. Just select the query and then run it. You can see all the data without masking. You can see, right? First name is not masked. Now I'm going to switch a role to data scientist. Use role data
Data.
scientist. Now again, I'm going to query the same table. Now the first name column should be
Masked, sir.
Masked.
masked. That's it. Sujita Priya is not answering for my questions. Select star from employees. Now you have to see
It's masked, sir.
first name column.
First name is masked, sir.
Masked. Okay, this is how you can do. Now I'm going to do one more thing, guys. Okay, just I'm going to sign out this one. I'm going to log in as a user first. Now, for anyone can say for data analyst, who is the user? For data analyst, who is the user?
Sir, Tony 3.
Tony, sir. Tony 3.
23
Yes.
is the user. Just log in with the 23, and then the password is SF@123. Now log into the user. And then just create your worksheet, SQL worksheet. And then you can't able to see the database now. What I have to do? I am not.
Switch the role.
Switch to the
Switch
role,
the-
corresponding role. What we have? I have the data
Data
analyst role. Okay, good. Now you can see the masking admin as well, because masking admin is given the privilege to
Data analyst.
data analyst. That's why you can able to see the two roles. Okay, now I am switching to data analyst role and then choosing the warehouse. Now you can see the database, analytics DB database. Just choose the database, analytics, and then schema is going to HS schema. And then you can able to expand it. Now I'm going to query the employees. If I query the employees table, the first name column will be masked or not masked?
Masked, sir.
Will be
Masked.
masked. Except data engineer, the remaining roles will be masked. Okay. You can see, right?
Yes, sir.
You can see this user can able to see all the country data as well as the first name is masked. Good. Now again, I'm going to switch to the admin user. Just sign out. Just have the username and then have the password. This is admin. Now go to our existing worksheet. Good. Everything is good. Okay. Now we can able to create a masking policy, and then you can assign the masking policy to the one of the custom role. Okay, these are steps we have seen so far. Now, few more masking policy I'm going to show now. Good. Step number 5 is completed. Now, the next step I want to show is how to unset the masking policy in a column. How to unset your masking policy in a column. Now, one scenario to you. I created 2 masking policies. One masking policy assigned to a column of first name. Okay. Second masking policy, I also assign the first name. Okay, definitely it won't work. Only one policy you can apply for only one column. See, sorry guys, I made a blunder mistake. With the help of one masking policy, I can assign 1,000 columns. You can assign. The second masking policy should not have the same column name. Satish, you agree, right? The first
Yes,
masking
sir.
policy are applying for 10 columns. Just take 10 columns. Second masking
Okay.
policy should not apply same column itself. You should not assign. You can assign to different
Okay.
columns, but you should not assign to the same columns. Now, I want to show how to unset the masking policy for a column level. Now, this is a statement. Alter table. If the table is exist, employee table exists, I'm going to modify the column. The first name column, I'm going to unset. Unset the
Masking policy.
masking policy. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is just copy. And then I'm unsetting the masking policy. Okay, now see guys, whenever you're doing the unset, right, just don't use this role. Okay, just go to some role which is having sufficient privileges. Okay, now what I'm going to do is you can go sysadmin or you can go for account admin. They are the privileges. Just do the alter statement, answer the masking policy. Now, if I switch to this data scientist role, select some employees, the data will be masked or unmasked.
Unmasked, sir.
Unmasked because
Unset the masking policy.
unsetting the masking policy. Now go to the data scientist role and see the employees table. Let's see. Now you can able to see the actual data because we are unsetting the masking policy. This is how you can able to unset the masking policy using alter table statement. If tables exist, then you're going to modify the column. Now the next step I'm going to show is how to do the partial data masking Snowflake. Guys, very, very important, guys. Mostly for email fields, they'll go for this partial data masking Snowflake. I'm going to create one more policy called, policy name is
Email mask, sir.
email mask. Sujita Priya and Sendamal. The policy name is
Email mask.
Email mask.
email mask. Okay, now I'm going to mask the email columns. Okay, if you see here, we have the one email field, right? Like fourth column, I guess. Okay, it's a fourth column. You can able to see the email fields. Okay, I'm going to mask only like the name alone. I'm going to mask the mail we have, right? SKNG. The thing I'm going to mask. I'm not going to mask the domain name. The domain name is outlook.com. That thing I'm not going to mask it. Only the before the at the rate, I'm going to mask it. That is called partial data masking Snowflake. For this, we have to create a policy called masking policy called email mask. It can give any name. As well as I'm going to pass one column called, what column am I going to pass here? Anyone?
Vals.
Val, sir.
What column am I going to pass?
Email, sir.
Email.
Email column I'm going to pass. Who said val? It's an argument. The argument type is
Sorry.
string. Random is going to string for us. Now I'm writing one case statement. Using case when then statement, I'm going to write case when statement. If someone logged into the current role as data engineer, okay, I think data engineer, data engineer, then I'm going to give the exact column value. Now, one more condition. If the current role is data scientist, then I'm going to use a regular expression replace. The column I'll pass as email. The column will pass as email. In the email, I'll pass this regular expressions. I want to say what's the regular expression in the sense. Just I copy this one. I'll explain one by one. Okay. Now, this dot represents it match one or more single characters. Sendamal, this dot is going to match
One or more single character.
one or more single characters. Okay, now plus symbol is nothing but it will look at the next character. It will look at the next character. Okay. And then this double slash is nothing but a escape sequence because we are using the special character, right? At the special character. For this, you have to put some escape sequence, a double slash. Now you are using at the rate. Now what will happen, right? Up to at the rate, it will keep on search for characters. Dot will search for one or more characters. Okay, plus will search for next characters. Okay. Now what happens? Up to at the rate, it will keep on search for the
Next characters.
next
sir.
characters. Okay. Before at the rate. Okay. Before at the how many characters are there, it will match. That's why we are using dot and plus. Double such nothing but
Escape sequence. sir.
escape sequence because you're using at the rate, right? Special character. That's what you are using replace, right? This is a column name, and this is a pattern actually. If this pattern is matched, what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the string as skng is there, right? I'm going to make it as asterisk, and then I'm going to change at the rate. Now the domain will not get changed. Domain will not get changed. Before that, it will get changed because we are using regular expression replace. Whatever the regular expression getting matched, right? We are replacing it with the help of asterisk at the rate of at. Now I'm going to apply this masking policy, guys. It's clear. And then if some other, just it's a command, guys. Okay, then don't get confused. It's a command. Now, if some other role I log in, right? What will happen?
Masked, sir. Data will be.
Data will mask, completely masked. Okay, that's why giving else statement here. And then finally, if you use case, right, definitely you have to use end. Now I'm going to apply this partial data masking Snowflake on the email. Just copy and then go to your Snow site. Now paste in a worksheet. Just run it. Now the masking policy email underscore mask got created. Good. Now the next thing is I want to set the column, right? I want to set the column. Which column I want to apply the masking?
Email column, sir.
Email column. Alter table. Though we have a table called employee. Okay, you can write one statement also. Alter table if exist. If table is exist. If exist, table is employees, and then modify column email, set masking policy called email mask can set. Now that's it, guys. Modify column email set masking policy. Yeah, everything is correct. Let's see. Now, what will happen, right? I already said to you guys, okay, whenever you're using alter table or something, right? Alter table or creating any masking policy, just go for some higher privileges, okay?
Yes.
Just to go for an account admin or some other system admin you can create. Just I'm going to the same thing again. Just run it. Okay. Because policy already set, right? The policy already set. That's why it's saying that cannot be dropped or replaced because sorry, one or more entities. Okay, we have to unset and then we have to make it. Okay, let it be. Good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to data scientist. Okay, I'm going to switch to data scientist. How to switch? Use role.
Data scientist.
Sujita Priya, answer. Use role. Data. Scientist. Now just query the table. Select staff and employees. Okay, good. Select star from employees. Now you can see email should get masked. It's masked, right?
Yes, sir.
It got masked. It's a partial data masking. What it is? Partial data masking.
Partial data.
If I was logging into the data engineer, I can able to see the
Entire
Email.
value, sir.
entire column without masking. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I just going to copy and paste and going to changes. Sorry. Just copy. And then make it as
Data engineer.
data engineer. Okay, now you can see I'm switching data engineer role and seeing the employees. I have to see all the data without masking. Good. Is it good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one is which role I have to see?
Data analyst, sir.
Use role data analyst.
Analyst.
Analyst, what they will do, right? They will write only SQL queries. Okay, now just copy and paste as it is. Now let's see what happens, guys.
Fully masked, sir.
No, it's happening something. Okay. I made a blunder mistake, guys. Okay, just what is happening in the sense, though applying only to one column, right? It's correct. Though applying to only email column, what happens in the else condition? It's entirely get masked. That column got email columns got entirely
Mask, sir.
masked. Send them the entire data won't be masked. Only a particular column only are given here. The other statement. The modify column, email, and setting masking policy. The email column, the entire data will get
Masked,
Masked.
sir.
masked. You see, right? Email column. Good. Now the last step I'm going to show is in partial data masking. I'm going to sign out. And then I want to show for data analyst, who is the user? For data analyst, who is the user?
23, sir.
23. Password is
Yes, sir. At the rate 123.
123. That's it. Just sign in. What happened, guys? I'm not able to incorrect password. Just once again, I think it's in caps lock.
Yes, sir.
Just I'll check here. Yeah, now it's correct. Yeah, now I can able to log into the Snow site. Okay, just already have existing worksheet. Now, yeah, now see you guys. You can able just one second, already a old one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to query this table. Let's see. You can see, right? So number.
Yes, sir.
The entire data won't be masked because we're setting only one column. Okay. If you set multiple columns, right? The multiple columns will get masked. Now the entire email field get masked. Okay. I think it's not falls under the partial masking. It's a full mask actually. Okay. If you want to keep your domain name and then you have to mask the remaining fields, then you can go for a partial matching, like partial masking. Yeah, partial data masking can go. You can write in case statements. Okay, as per the role, you can mask these columns. But one thing you have to keep in mind, you have to use alter table statement and then you can specify the columns. If you want to specify multiple columns, you can put comma and then you can make it. Okay, you can make it comma and then you can put first name, last name, you can mention it. Okay, this is how you can do the dynamic data masking. The one thing you have to keep in mind, I am not changing the data in the database tables. Okay, on the fly, I'm masking those datas when the user role are having sufficient permission, sufficient privilege they have. I'm going to close session right now.